The plummet into the Infinity Castle felt endless. Everything was pitch black as Yuki fell deeper and deeper into this endless abyss before she was able to see any sort of ground to land on. She didn't have much time to brace for impact before crashing into the ground below. She felt the air escape her lungs as she hit the ground, needing a moment to catch her breath before she could stand back up. "Are you all right, Yuki?" a quiet voice asked from behind her. Yuki jumped, quickly reaching for one of her swords, but noticed that it wasn't a demon standing there, but Shinobu instead. "Oh, Shinobu. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to see anyone else here." "It's all right," she said with a soft chuckle. "But are you injured? That was quite the fall you just took." "I'm okay. No injuries from what I can tell. Just got the wind knocked out of me." "That's good. Now, get up. We need to locate the others and kill Kibutsuji." Shinobu walked up to her, offering her a hand to help her up, giving her usual smile. Yuki took Shinobu's hand and pulled herself up. She brushed herself off before beginning to walk forward. "I hate seeing these damn walls again. Everything looks the same and you never know where the structure will change." Shinobu walked along with Yuki, looking around at the walls. "I'm assuming you were trapped here for a while after getting kidnapped by Akaza?" "Yeah, but I didn't see much of him other than the initial interrogation. It was mainly Doma after I had escaped my bindings. He was constantly toying with me, exhausting me to the point of... well, you saw when I got back to the Butterfly Mansion." Did you say Doma?" Shinobu asked, looking at Yuki with a hint of fear, but also anger. "I did. Why do you ask?" "He's the demon who killed my older sister, Kanai. He wasn't able to consume her due to the sun rising, but the damage had already been done. I have a score to settle with him." Yuki nodded, continuing to walk forward before getting the smell of something. That something being blood that was fresh. "Someone's injured! Come on, Shinobu, we have to hurry!" The two of them quickly ran further up the halls. The further they ran, Yuki started to recognize a few details on the walls that looked familiar. After running for more time, Yuki felt her entire body tense, stopping in her tracks. Shinobu looked back at Yuki, concern crossing her face. "Yuki, what's the matter? Why did you stop running?" Yuki let out a shaky sigh, looking at the door that was in front of them. "I think you might be able to settle that score," she said quietly, before sliding the door open. Yuki and Shinobu stood in the doorway in horror, seeing Doma inside eating one of his female followers. "I think I'm going to be sick," Shinobu muttered, covering her mouth. Doma heard her mutter, looking back at the two Hashira now standing in his doorway with a wicked grin. "Well, look who's coming to pay little old me a visit. I'll be honest, I didn't think I'd ever see either of you again. Especially you, Yuki." Doma stepped forward quickly toward Yuki, reaching his bloody hand up to caress her cheek. Shinobu quickly drew her Nichiren blade, aiming it at Doma's throat. "Don't take another step. Not unless you want your head to be cut off." Doma chuckled, pushing her sword away from his neck before getting right in Shinobu's face. "So feisty, but you know that you couldn't cut my head off even if you tried," he chuckled, before looking Shinobu over and asking, "Aren't you the little sister of that one Hashira I killed a couple years ago? It really was such a shame that the sun was rising. I would have loved to consume her and be one with her." Yuki looked at Shinobu, and she could see the anger on her face. Yuki placed a hand on Shinobu's shoulder, trying to pull her out of her anger. "He's trying to get in your head, Shinobu. Don't let him." "Oh, Yuki, you really are no fun," Doma said, smirking at her as he paced around the both of them. "You know just as well as I do that you're feeling the same anger as your friend here, even if you don't want to admit it." "I'm not here to play your games, Doma. Now stop wasting time." Yuki drew her two blades, getting into a fighting stance. Shinobu followed suit, drawing her blade as well. They both had a personal score to settle with Doma. Yuki and Shinobu both nodded and charged forward toward Doma, each taking a different side and going for their first attacks. Doma quickly dodged out of the way, taking out his golden hand fans and starting to attack himself. With a single flap of his fan, he let out a large wave of ice. Yuki jumped back to get out of the way, and Shinobu went in for an attack, managing to stab her blade right into Doma's eye. It pierced all the way through, and Doma couldn't help but laugh. "You really know how to use that blade, Miss Shinobu. I'm honestly surprised you managed to get in a hit at all." Shinobu pulled her blade from his neck, jumping back as he let out another burst of ice. The room was so cold that Yuki and Shinobu could both see their breath. Yuki knew firsthand how bad getting ice in their lungs would be for them. Yuki went in for another attack herself, but got blasted back by the ice, using her blade to keep her from flying into the wall. "Shinobu, don't breathe in the ice! It will freeze your lungs instantly!" she called out, trying to run up and attack once again. Doma saw the incoming attack, slashing his fans, this time making contact with Yuki's skin, causing her cheek to spill with blood. Yuki went toe-to-toe with him for a while, either blocking his attacks with the fans or dodging out of the ice. Yuki jumped back for a moment, and Doma took the moment to make a move. He flapped his fan, sending a large wave of ice at Yuki again. She didn't have enough time to react, and the ice hit her, sending her flying back into the wall, freezing her to it, making her unable to move. "Yuki!" Shinobu called out, running toward Yuki to try and free her. "No! Focus on Doma!" Yuki called out. "Don't worry about me. I'll find a way out of this." "I can't just leave you like this!" she yelled back, trying to break the ice Yuki was trapped in. "Don't get distracted, Shinobu. Worry about—" Yuki looked behind her, seeing Doma charging right towards them. "Shinobu, look out!" Shinobu quickly dodged out of the way, seeing Doma grinning at her with a look of malice. "You really shouldn't get so distracted, my dear. You could get seriously injured if you aren't paying close enough attention." Shinobu glared at Doma, preparing to attack him once again. She charged forward, managing to get in another strike on him. The two were furiously battling each other. Shinobu's strikes were doing little to no damage, and his movements were still sharp. Ice was getting flung everywhere across the room, and the temperature only continued to drop lower and lower. Yuki struggled to get out of her trappings, trying to suppress her powers as much as possible. The ice was strong, and she had broken out of it before, so why couldn't she now? All she could do was watch helplessly as Shinobu and Doma battled it out. Doma's attacks had started to slow down slightly, but he laughed, realizing what was happening to him. "That poison on your blade is quite potent. It's probably made of wisteria, which is why my movements are slowing down. A shame there wasn't more on it, because it would have killed me. But it doesn't affect me at all now that I've nullified it." Shinobu stared in shock, frozen at the realization that her poison was no longer having an effect. Her moment of shock was quickly cut short when Doma was able to get his attack on Shinobu. She let out a loud scream of pain, seeing the several deep wounds now covering her body. "Shinobu!" Yuki screamed, looking in horror at what was happening in front of her. She tried to break free from the ice, feeling her anger starting to go out of control. Shinobu had started to cough up blood, still trying to keep going and fight Doma. "I won't let you win," she said through gritted teeth, trying her best to get in another strike. Doma blocked her attack with ease, grabbing a hold of her and keeping her in place. "Don't say such hostile things, darling," he cooed, brushing his hand up against her cheek as he held her. "You know that there's nothing you can do anyway. Your body is too weak to keep going, so it would be better if you just gave up." "Shinobu, don't listen to him. Don't let him get the better of you," Yuki begged, hoping that she wouldn't have to watch her best friend die in front of her. Shinobu looked back at Yuki, giving her a quick grin before muttering, I'll never give up. I'll fight you till the end," she said, going for another strike. Doma caught her feeble attempt of a strike before giving her a fatal wound to the abdomen. Doma gave a laugh as he pulled her into what looked like an embrace. "Oh, my dear, it really is such a shame we couldn't have more fun together. But I'm afraid that your time has run out. Do relax and enjoy being a part of me forever." Doma pulled Shinobu's body close to his, absorbing hers into his. Yuki's eyes started to spill with tears, feeling that unbridled rage filling her body. "What have you done?" she cried out, looking out at Doma in horror. Doma couldn't help but laugh seeing Yuki's despair, looking at her with a mocking grin. "Aw, what's the matter? Are you upset that your friend got killed?" He laughed again, but he could see that Yuki's eyes were glowing and that there was now a sudden gust of wind blowing through the room. "Oh, someone's mad. What are you going to do about it? It's not like you can..." As he was speaking, the ice holding Yuki exploded into thousands of pieces, chilling the room to its core. She was standing in the remains of the ice, her eyes glowing and hair blowing in the wind. All of her demonic markings were glowing with that demonic energy, and she drew her blades as she started to speak. Her voice had become demonic, and it was filled with contempt. "You're going to pay for all the innocent lives you stole.